Chapter 3. "What are you doing here?" she shouted over the music. "I could ask you the same question," I shouted back. So I did. "What are you doing here?" We looked at each other, unsure as to who should answer first. Playing the gentleman, I decided it should be me. I went to the stereo and turned off the music. Then I said, "I'm a friend of Jimmy's. I came to check on him." The woman, who remained a statue in the doorway, regarded me suspiciously. I wiped my hot pocket-stained fingers on my pants, then stepped forward slowly so as not to alarm her, and extended my hand. "I'm Salvatore Massimo Lunezzi. You can call me Sal." The woman looked at my hand as if it were toxic, then looked into my eyes and saw me as no better than my hand. Let my hand fall limply to my side. The woman remained still and silent and performed invasive surgery on me with her eyes. I didn't know where to turn, as it felt like she was stripping off my skin bit by bit. After a long, torturous minute of this, I was thoroughly ashamed of the fact that I existed. I tried to crack wise. "See anything you might find useful?" But my voice had betrayed me. It had come from a 13-year-old boy blindsided by puberty. Suddenly, the woman's features softened and her icy demeanor melted. "I'm Anna," she said, in such a friendly voice it made me go jelly inside. She smiled extra big, then extended her tapered ivory fingers for me to shake. I clumsily groped her fingers and shook. Her hand was soft and clean-feeling. For those of you who might be wondering, Anna was not a scissor-legged blonde. She had dark hair, real dark, like a night forest with no moon. The color of her hair violently contrasted her skin, which was white, real white, like bleached bones or virgin snow. There was something very classical, very noble about Anna's facial structure, especially her nose, which reigned as the stately matriarch over the rest of her features. Anna breezed by me and I sat in the recliner. I couldn't take my eyes off her dress. It was an aquatic green with scalloped white trim. It puffed and flared and possessed the character of a decadent pastry, ornate, pretentious, cream-filled. "Hungry?" she said, and gave me a smiling look. My face and hands grew hot and itchy. Had she seen into the depravity of my pastry association? That happened. Then, with a quick sideways glance, she indicated the plate on which I had eaten the Hot Pocket and said, "What'd you have?" "Hot Pocket," I said, relieved by what she didn't know. Anna fished out a nail file from some secret pocket in her dress and began filing her glassy nails. This put me at ease, and I sat down on the couch facing Anna. "Mind if I sharpen a pencil?" I asked. Anna gestured. You might guess. I took out a pencil and my pencil sharpener and went to work. Shavings collected in the seashell ashtray sat on the coffee table in front of me. Keeping her eyes focused on her manicure, Anna said, "I had to look you over in that way, just to make sure." I recalled what Anna had done to me with her eyes and felt a renewed wave of shame. "What were you making sure of?" I asked. "That you really were Jimmy's friend?" "Me and Jimmy grew up on the same block in Bensonhurst," I volunteered. "Where you from?" "Not Bensonhurst," Anna said, still not looking at me. I kept at her. "You Jimmy's lady friend?" Anna laughed like I had hit her with a funny stick. "By lady friend, what do you mean?" she said. "I don't know," I said. "I'm not Jimmy's I don't know, nor am I his main squeeze, as the phrasing goes. Like you, I'm Jimmy's friend." Anna blew nail dust off the tips of her fingers. I stared at those fingers as they extended fully. They were like unfinished sentences, implying something poetic. "Sal," Anna started and paused. That pause, which I believe was intentional, allowed me to reflect on how it was the first time Anna had spoken my name aloud. The effect was dizzying, like she had given birth to me, signed the birth certificate, and baptized me all in one syllable. Anna continued, "Do you know what's going on in Jimmy's life?" "No," I confessed point blank. I set down my sharpened pencil and went to work on a second one. "Why do you think he called you?" Anna said. "I guess because..." I started and stopped cold in my tracks. I hadn't told Anna that Jimmy had called me. I felt the rotation of my pencil sharpening intensify. "I'd like to know more about..." I began, but Anna set her eyes on me, a couple of onyx watchdogs, and her sharp voice quickly cut me off. "It's important that you answer my question, Salvo, and not question me." "Salvo," I repeated to myself. I was now completely freaked out. I quickly scribbled a reminder on the blackboard in my mind. Anxiety and panic are highly contagious maladies. Exacting the task can serve you well. In a composed manner, I rose, and in a steady voice, I said, "Excuse me, Anna, but I need to use the bathroom." Of course, Anna said in a too sweet voice and went back to her manicure. When I got to the bathroom, I took out the miniature travel toothbrush that I always carried in my inside coat pocket and a travel-sized tube of toothpaste and brushed my teeth vigorously. I opened Jimmy's medicine cabinet to see if he had any mouthwash. Bingo, Listerine. It was Cool Mint, the blue kind, and not Citrus, the orange kind. I didn't like Cool Mint, but at least it wasn't original, the pale gold kind, which I detested. I gargled and spit into the sink. I lifted the lid on the toilet and sat down. I clutched the rosary beads in my hand and went over what Anna had said to me. After a couple of minutes, I simplified things in my head and managed to reassert my grip on what had gone down so far. Jimmy had called me out of the blue, worried that he was breaking apart. 12 and 36 and 48. His last words were, "I'm not me," and the line went dead. I took a train to Jimmy's apartment, got buzzed into the building by an anonymous tenant, and entered Jimmy's unlocked apartment. I was listening to Immigrant Song when Anna appeared. Anna, the notorious pastry with mysterious ways. Anna, who was, I imagine, still sitting in the recliner, paring down her nails. The turnings of my mind made me feel sleepy and alert at the same time. Maybe it was the Hot Pockets and grape soda. I leaned back against the toilet tank. I let my gaze wander lazily from object to object. The towel rack, the red towel hanging from the rack, the tiles, the rolled-up pile of clothes near the hamper, the black thing set on top of the hamper. What was the black thing, I wondered? I got off the toilet and went over to the hamper. It was a mini tape recorder. When checking the bathroom earlier, I didn't remember seeing it there. A pink post-it note was stuck to the recorder with the words, "Listen up," written on it. I felt like Alice after she had found the eat-me cake. Just curious, I told myself, and pocketed the recorder. Then I slipped out of the apartment, undetected by Anna. I'm going to stop for now.